right, and welcome to our stream, everybody. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Jason, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Darlene. Thank you so much, moderators, and thank you to everybody for joining us today for Thrilling Thursday. We are finishing our course on fairy magic today. We've got a final lesson and a final fairy tale for this particular course, but I'll be doing some more fairy tales as a general practice. I'll just keep those going. So we've got a lot to do and very little time to do it in. So no big announcements. You know the score. You know how to donate if you want to, where to shop if you want to, how to ask questions on the chat thread if you want to. Discord server, Facebook group, all places to get the support that you need. And I'm very grateful that you're here today. All right, here we go. Welcome to Lesson 5 in our Fairy Magic course. Today we're going to be talking about visiting fairyland. The days that mark the enchanting moments when the noble fairies known as the gentry, or the trooping, or the heroic fairies gracefully transition between their worlds and ours, are the 4 quarterly holidays that we talked about before, the main solstices and equinoxes. And in ancient fairy lore, those are the days that they parade from one hill to another, led by a fairy king and queen. Fiona MacLeod talked about this, and she said, "How beautiful they are, the lordly ones who dwell in the hills and the hollow hills. They have faces like flowers, and their breath is the wind that stirs amid grasses filled with white clover. Their limbs are more white than shafts of moonshine. They are more fleet than the March wind. They laugh and are glad and are terrible. When their lances shake every green reed, when their lances shake, every green reed quivers. How beautiful they are, how beautiful, the lordly ones in the hollow hills." Fairies are elusive and enigmatic creatures. They shun observation, and leaving even those with very very powerful clairvoyance uncertain of whether they've actually glimpsed them. Legends tell of the fleeting possibilities offered by a 4-leaf clover or a pebble with a natural hole, granting mere glimpses into their world. Masters of transformation, they effortlessly change size and take on any form they desire, posing an ever-present challenge to actually know whether you've seen one. Be warned, for they possess the power to temporarily alter the appearance of mortals, too. Exercise caution and discretion when crossing the paths of the fairies. Occasionally, fairies will assume a human form, seamlessly blending into our realm unnoticed by all. Clad in normal attire, adorned with a possibly scarlet hat or cap, and a touch of white, a silk scarf or the feather of a white owl, perchance. Their allure and elegance can be spellbinding, yet by our standards they also may appear grotesque or distorted. To what extent their appearance is shaped by enchantments remains a mystery, inviting introspection and wonder. In the year 1188, Euraldus Cambrensis chronicled an account by a Welsh priest named Elidurus. I'm so bad with my pronunciation today. I'm going to redo that. In the year In year 1188, Euraldus Cambrensis chronicled an account by a Welsh priest named Elidurus. Say that again. Elidurus. And it's Elidurus. As a 12-year-old youth engrossed in his studies, Elidurus sought solace beneath the shelter of a hollow riverbank, escaping the relentless discipline and frequent chastisement from his tutor. After 2 days of secluded fasting, he encountered 2 ethereal figures of diminutive stature. They beckoned him, offering to lead him toward a realm brimming with enchantments and delights. With a nod of agreement, he rose and followed these mystical guides along a subterranean, dimly lit path that led to a captivating realm. This mesmerizing country was adorned with meandering rivers, verdant woodlands, sprawling plains, and lush meadows, all veiled in obscurity, devoid of the sun's radiant illumination. Clouds enshrouded the sky both day and night, and the moon and stars were absent. These figures, despite their small stature, possessed well-proportioned frames, adorned with fair hair cascading over their shoulders, reminiscent of women's tresses. Another Welsh account tells a similar tale. Nestled within the mountains near Brecknock lies a small lake. In ancient times, on specific days each year, a hidden door within a rock near this lake would mysteriously swing open. Perhaps it was on the sacred day of May. Curious and daring individuals who ventured forth were guided through a concealed passage that culminated in a tiny island situated at the very heart of the lake. Here visitors discovered a mesmerizing garden, abundant with the finest fruits and flowers. This ethereal sanctuary was inhabited by the Tylwyth Teg or fair family. It was a kind of fairy whose beauty matched their graciousness and affability toward those who pleased them. They bestowed upon their guests an assortment of fruits and flowers, entertained them with exquisite melodies, shared glimpses of the future, and extended an invitation to linger as long as their stay remained agreeable. However, secretly enshrouded the island, forbidding the removal of any of its bountiful treasures. To onlookers standing beyond the lake's edge, only an indistinct mass was visible at its center. It was noted that no bird dare soar over the water, and at times a soft strain of music would waft through the morning breeze, captivating all who heard it. Upon one of these annual visits, an audacious miscreant, upon preparing to depart from the garden, surreptitiously pocketed a flower bestowed upon him. However, this act of theft brought him naught but misfortune. As soon as he set foot on unhallowed ground, the pilfered flower vanished, and he was struck with a loss of his senses. The fair family at the time did not overtly acknowledge this transgression. They bid farewell to their guests with customary courtesy, and the door closed as it always had. Yet the resentment simmered, although, as the tale goes, the fairies and their garden undoubtedly continue to occupy the spot to this day, the birds still keeping a respectful distance from the lake, and the sporadic strains of music linger in the air. The door leading to this island has never reopened. Since this sacrilegious act, the fairies would have been plagued by misfortune. It is widely acknowledged that time within fairyland adheres to very distinct laws contrasting with the passage of time here on Earth. In fact, time there often seems scarcely to progress at all. Numerous stories recount the experiences of individuals who have strayed or have been enticed through the veil, believing that they've spent a mere short while, only to return and discover that a century or more has elapsed, and all those they once knew have long since departed. Other tales speak of mortals who sojourned into fairyland for what seemed to be a year, only to find upon their return that a solitary night had passed. Always bear in mind that while fairies may lend aid and bestow blessings upon those whom they favor, their nature remains unpredictable. They possess the potential to turn perilous if offended in any manner. Here lie the age-old admonitions. Should you happen upon a ring of dancing fairies and feel enticed to join their revelry, tread with caution. Enchantment shall follow, and upon regaining your senses, you may find that years have slipped away. If ever you find yourself in the realm of the fairies, whether by chance or invitation, abstain from partaking of any food or drink offered. The allure may prove irresistible, rendering your departure impossible. Fiona MacLeod artfully captured the enigmatic, treacherous essence of fairyland within the following verse. I have ventured into the realms of fairy, where I discovered both sorrow and peace and beauty. Unable to distinguish one from the other, each appeared as lovely and graceful, delicate and fair. I have returned from the concealed, silent realms of fairy, having forgotten the melodies of its ancient streams. Now flame and wind, and the endless grey meandering wave, and the beauty and peace and sorrow, all are but dreams within dreams. Embarking upon a sojourn into the fairy realm should never be taken lightly or without sensible precautions. The wisest approach entails gaining entry through one of the doorways situated on the astral island. Rest assured that this island is what enjoys angelic protection. So here is how I recommend that you, if you would chance to go into fairyland, do it in a safe manner. You select a Friday within the full moon or a few days prior. Begin your astral journey at dusk or later, and not after when midnight strikes. Now, if you've taken my astral projection course, you're going to have an easier time of this, and I recommend that you use all of the angelic tools within that course to allow your angels to assist you while you are projecting into the land of the fairy. Make sure that you also have your seal of Agrippa, as given in this lesson, very prominently displayed in the room where you're doing this work. Before you start this work, it is recommended also that you make a sigil of the Archangel Anael using your name. Your first name is fine. And you can find how to do that in my free booklet on the angelic squares. So you'll want your sigil of the Archangel Anael for your name and your seal of Agrippa prominently displayed. And if you are so inclined and you have some astral projection experience, you may also want to be using your trident of Paracelsus and the Tree of Life diagram as well. And you can find those in my astral projection course. So ensure that you are undisturbed during the time that you're venturing into fairyland. Wear very comfortable clothes, maintain a very comfortable room temperature, make sure that the curtains or the blinds are drawn, and just let a very small light like a candle provide the gentle illumination. Make sure that you place your candle to the side and avoid gazing directly into the candle during your ritual. Optionally, you may burn a small amount of incense, use a perfumed candle, or spray perfume into the air. If you are using a candle, it's a good idea to use one that is green to connect with the fairy realms, or just a plain white one is fine. As I said before, make sure that you're displaying your seal of Agrippa to invite the protective presence of the Shekinah, plus your personal sigil of Anael. So you want to stand in the middle of the room where you are about to do your journey, and you want to cast a circle, and this is how you do it. So you stand in the center facing the east and envision a majestic bull's head gazing at you from the edge of your circle. Though formidable, this bull represents the angel or cherub of the east, one of the mighty watchers, and its gaze emanates benevolence. When the image is vivid in your mind, say, "Great cherub of the east, I invoke your sacred presence to safeguard this hallowed space." Now turn to the south. You know what? I'm going to redo this. I'm giving you a different, I pulled the wrong sheet out here. I'm going to use the different correspondences. Just strike that. I'm not going to use this in the final edit of this recording. There are so many different correspondences to different elements for each quarter, and I'm going to use the more standard elements in this course just to avoid confusion. All right, so you're going to start out in the east, and you're going to visualize a radiant angelic figure enveloped in luminosity. This is the Watcher of the East. And you'll say, "Great Cherub of the East, I invoke your sacred presence to safeguard this hallowed space." Then you turn to the south. And you envision a noble lion's head gazing upon you with pride. This is the Watcher of the South. Declare, "Great Cherub of the South, I invoke your sacred presence to safeguard this hallowed space." Then you turn to face the west. Behold a resolute eagle staring intently at you. This is the Watcher of the West. Affirm, "Great Cherub of the West, I invoke your sacred presence to safeguard this hallowed space." Then you finally turn to face the north, and you envision Then you turn and face the north, and envision a majestic bull's head gazing at you from the edge of the circle. This bull represents the Cherub of the north. You say, "Great Cherub of the north, I invoke your sacred presence to safeguard this hallowed space." Return your attention once more to the east and pause for a moment to envision the 4 watchers standing guard at the 4 quadrants of your circle. You see the angel before you, the lion to the right side of you, the eagle behind you, and the bull to the left of you. Feel the sensations revolving around you as the sun traverses the zodiac, spring equinox, summer solstice, autumn equinox, winter solstice, and recognize that for a fleeting moment you stand at the tranquil center of your very own universe. For some people, visualizing is very easy, while others struggle to summon and hold the images in their minds. If you find yourself having trouble visualizing, you might find pictures or drawings of a bull, a lion, an eagle, and an angel, and place them in your room at their respective positions before beginning the creation of your magic circle. Gaze upon them in succession to stimulate your imagination. With practice, you will discover that the images arise more effortlessly. With practice, you will discover that the images arise more effortlessly until they manifest spontaneously at the initiation of the beginning of the casting of your circle. It is then that you will sense their embodiment and genuine powers, whose presence transcends the mere workings of the mind. All right. Now, you're going to, once you've got your circle cast, face the north and sit in a comfortable chair. Utilize a very slow, long, deep breathing technique to relax. Cross your arms over your chest in the Egyptian god posture. And steadily, as you enter the realm of altered consciousness, embark on a astral travel journey, calling upon your angels to guide you through the portal. Imagine a beautiful ancient oak door nestled within the deep weathered stone wall in front of you. Push open this door, adorned with ivy and dog roses. See a beautiful stone staircase. Descend the steps that lead between the towering walls. Inhale the scent of salt and seaweed, and descend to the gentle lapping of waves against the harbor wall. Clad in a plain brown robe and sandals, step onto the jetty and board a small wooden vessel that eagerly awaits you. Its captain stands at the helm, holding a lantern. The ship sets sail once more, and this time the scene appears brighter. Gazing up at the star-studded sky, you notice the full moon accompanied by Venus, the star of Anael, and the symbol of Lucifer. As the silhouette of the mystical island looms closer, the hooded figure motions for you to steer eastward, following a familiar shoreline. Gradually, you navigate around the chalk pillars, marking the island's western point, and you glide smoothly into the sheltered inlet beyond. As you step ashore, your inner guide approaches and places something in your hand. Lowering your gaze, you discover a pebble, polished by the sea, with a hole naturally carved through its center by the relentless waves. Proceed along a well-trodden path, winding through the cliffs, walking upon the single path, and ascending the springy slopes adorned with heather and gorse. Finally, you reach the ancient mound. Fix your gaze upon the towering stone pillar, the long stone bathed in the ethereal glow of the overhead full moon. Its surface shimmers in a silvery gray hue with sparks of white dancing across its exterior. Are these the sparks a result of the moonlight reflecting off of embedded mica fragments within the granite, or do they hint at something much more magical? In a hushed voice, utter these words to yourself. Great Angel Anael, I beseech you, as the sovereign of the fairies, to watch over me on this sojourn into the realm of the fairy. May the pure radiance of Gabriel, Angel of the Moon, illuminate my path and guide me safely back home. Let no beings who traverse this portal bring harm or misfortune upon this sacred space. I invoke you in the name of Lucifer, Archangel of the earth, in this request. As these words linger in your thoughts, the shimmering silver column before you gradually softens and dissolves. Lift your pebble to your eye, peering through the hole in its center. Suddenly you find yourself gazing through the portal, beholding a softly illuminated winter landscape. A meandering river leads to a castle perched atop a hill. Above, Polaris, the splendid star, shines brightly at the center of a celestial circle formed by the corona borealis, while the northern lights undulate and pulse, casting delicate hues of green, blue, and mauve across the indigo sky. Stepping through the portal, you realize that the pebble spyglass is no longer necessary to perceive this astral world. You have entered the realm of Arianrod, one of the names of the fairy queen, and one of the three queens entrusted with the fate of aiding Arthur on his journey to Avalon. Arianrod is sister to the Greek goddess Ariadne, both weavers of destiny and associated with Corona Borealis. With confidence in the protection of the angelic realm, you set forth on your path to the castle of Arianrod, Queen of the North, guardian of the dead and weaver of fate. Though assured of divine guidance, you remind yourself of the cautionary tales about venturing into the fairyland. Though assured of divine guidance, you remind yourself of the cautionary tales about venturing into the fairy lands. Refrain from partaking of any food or drink offered to you. Maintain gracefulness in all encounters, and exercise caution and vigilance in avoiding causing offense. After your exploration concludes, you turn and make your way back through the very same doorway you entered, glancing behind you to see that it has transformed once again into an unremarkable slab of plain granite. Standing by the ancient mound on the downland, you waste no time to hasten toward the path leading to the beach, where the little ship awaits patiently. As soon as you step aboard, the sail catches the wind, propelling the ship away from the shore, out of the bay, and along the southern coastline of the island. Above, the full moon descends toward the western horizon, illuminating your path as you sail northwards to the mainland, Leaping ashore, you discover the breach in the towering wall, marked by stone steps ascending toward an old oak door. You open it up and step through, feeling the firm closure behind you. Gazing at the intricately carved crescent and star, you realize that you have returned to your familiar chair in your own room, seated upright, with your arms now resting along your thighs. You take a deep breath and slowly open your eyes. Now, no one can guarantee or predict what lies ahead in your fairy journey. And as you embark upon the journey into the realm of fairyland, it's crucial that you trust your inner self and allow it to guide you as your compass. Your own angels will guide you on this course. Now, it's not necessary that you even use this guided imagery to gain entrance into the fairy realm. You can very easily, just as directed in the astral projection course, take all of the precautions, including casting your circle, sit in a comfortable chair facing the north, put on your trident of Paracelsus, and have that diagram of the tree of life close by, along with your Shekinah, your seal of Agrippa, and your sigil to Anael, your personal sigil to Anael, all about you. And just sit and relax and allow the angels themselves to transport you into fairyland and have it be a non-guided experience. And that's my personal preference, is to allow it just to unfold as it will. And with practice, you may actually get a lot of information from fairyland that is absolutely wonderful for you. It may seem like you are just making things up at first, and that's fine too. But the more frequently you are willing to work with your angels and move into this fairyland, the more you are going to be able to feel as though you are becoming one of the divine ambassadors between humanity and the lands of the fairy, and hopefully start to heal any of our animosity that we have earned from the fairy kingdom for our very poor treatment of this earth, our environment, and their lovely lands. So I hope that you've enjoyed this fairy course. I thank you very much, and until next time, blessed be. Okay, we have another fairy tale to get through, and I'm not sure I have time to do that. So I may put that as a separate upload later on, because I just don't think I have time to do it on the live stream today. I'm also going to probably re-edit what we just did and take that guided meditation out and put it in as its own file as well. Let's see if we have any questions before we end the stream. We do not. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I so appreciate you. We'll start another course very soon. I'm not sure which one we're going to do. I had a couple of requests for doing an actual course on the Armadale after my little article on the Armadale. My little article was one little tiny little line in that book. That book is extensive. So if that's really something that people want to do, I'm more than willing to do that. That course would be a very simple one for me to get together, because I have a lot of research already done on it. But any other suggestions, I'm open for. So thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you all very soon. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators. Today we had Jason and Deline, and we'll see you very soon. Blessed be.